Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions. We go live every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. to talk about budget, finance, insurance rates, money, all of those topics. I'm trying to be a millionaire. I'm on my way there. So sometimes we talk about that. I also manage a movie theater, so we usually go over the top movies. But today's topic is all about store closures. Specifically, the 99 cents only stores are closing. Fast food restaurants are surprise closing, and Family Dollar is closing. And I just want to share my opinions about how that's going to kind of have an effect on the economy. So, okay, first of all, the 99-cent store, I grew up with the 99-cent store. On Sundays, my mom used to drive me to my grandma's, and we would get to my grandma's. We would go have breakfast at a place called Michael's, and from there we would go shopping. It was called Pick and Save, but that was Big Lots. And then sometimes the 99-cent store. So that's where I was getting my pencils for school, my notebooks, my toys, really. Anything that I played with, markers, crayons, school supplies, calculators, little staplers, all of that kind of stuff I was getting from either Pick and Save or Walmart. I was very lucky because we actually went like once a week. My grandma would tell me, "Hey, Shelly, I don't want you to ask for things. I want you to like hint around so that then she could like pick up that I wanted the things." But she normally got me some things. So every week I got things. I don't know that I needed all those things, but I'm aware that I was very lucky to even have those things on a weekly basis. So I'm sad to see the stores close on a nostalgic level. But I'm also sad because as I grew older, I started shopping at the 99-cent store, like to make ends meet. And I think a lot of us shop at the 99-cent store to make ends meet because the groceries have gotten too expensive. I will say that sometimes at the 99-cent store, like the ounces, the actual size of the thing that you were buying, even though it was cheaper, sometimes the packages were not as big, right? So sometimes you weren't actually getting more for your money. But if you're somebody who's single like me or a senior living on their own, like my mom, you don't need like a whole big giant loaf of bread. Maybe you only need like a half a loaf of bread. And the 99-cent store would sometimes have smaller packages. Or like even look at the cans of chili and things like that. Sometimes they're just not as big in ounces as the cans of chili or soup or olives that you're getting at a regular grocer. So I do sometimes think that like manufacturers made products special for the dollar store so that they could still charge a dollar. But the bigger impact that I think things are going to have on the economy and everything is the 99-cent store said that they're closing, like I think it was 367 stores, and that's a lot of lost jobs. I don't think he's in here yet, but oops, let's go here. I'm gonna erase this. If you're new here, I use a whiteboard sometimes to go over these topics. So let's say that there's 367 stores that are closing, and let's say that each of those had 12 employees. Let's see how many lost jobs that's going to be. Ooh, my little heater is rattling back there. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator on my phone. So 367 times 12 employees per store. That would equal 4,404 jobs. That equals 4,404 jobs lost just from the closures of the 99-cent only stores. On top of that, that means that means families are losing out on the ability to buy food and groceries for 99 cents. So, we've got job loss, and sometimes too, we have to look at where the 99-cent only stores are located. They're not located in the middle of Beverly Hills. They're not necessarily located in the middle of Santa Monica. They're located in neighborhoods where families need to be able to buy their groceries for less money. So it's frustrating that we're losing these stores and that we're losing 4,404 jobs because of the store closures. And as far as I know, I mean, I don't know any of their employees, but I don't think that there was any like advance notice that this was happening. Some of the stores are already on clearance. Good morning, Bonnie. Um, Good to see you guys. So it's just really sad to me. And then Family Dollar recently announced that they're closing like 1,000 stores. So, and I can do the math on that. So 1,000, we'll do the same example where we're saying that each Family Dollar had 12 employees. I have a viewer whose screen icon is the Family Dollar. If you pop in, let me know how many employees that you had working at your store that are now no longer with jobs. So 1,000 times 12, that's going to equal 12,000 jobs plus that from Family Dollar lost. This is from the 99-cent store. So now we're at like 16,500 jobs lost. That is a lot of jobs. And that's just disappearing like over this last month. Okay, now I'm in California. So we're going to tie this into kind of the minimum wage increases as well. So the fast food minimum wage just went up to $20 an hour. And they're saying that this is great. It's going to level the playing field. It's going to bring some people out of poverty that were living in poverty. And that is great. Leveling the playing field, trying to create equality for more workers is a good thing, except for not if places are closing and you're losing entire jobs because of it. Like, I would rather be able to go to work and earn some money than have my place of business close and not have the ability to earn any money. And like, we knew that the Family Dollars were closing first. So maybe the people at Family Dollar were like, oh, well, I'll just go work at the 99-cent store. It's a similar business model. I'll get hired really easily. But now the 99-cent only stores are closing as well. This is also going to create another problem. So, first, we've got the loss of jobs. Then we have the loss of affordable groceries to a lot of people. The article that I was reading, there was an 80-some-year-old man who walked to the 99-cent store to do his grocery shopping. If he needed a little bit of milk, that's where he went. If he needed fresh groceries, that's where he went. And so it was like a neighborhood market to him. And when you're 80, guys, it might not be as easy to move around. It might not be as easy to just drive a little bit further. Good morning, Rocky. So this is going to create hardship for the people that really need it most. All right. Hi, Satobia. Good to see you. It's an article saying the owner of Big Lots will get the California 99-cent stores back. Now, this is interesting. Let's look, Satobia, because I don't know if you were in here at the beginning. I was talking about how my grandma used to take me to Big Lots, which used to be it used to be Pick and Save, right? And then we'd go to the 99-cent store afterwards. I can't speak for all the locations, but it seems like Big Lots are also not as around as much. The one that I went to for years every Sunday with my grandma recently closed. Okay. Also some of the 99-cent stores are liquidating. So if you do want to shop for deals, maybe go now. Okay. Bonnie says, my landlord went to the 99-cent store on Friday. He had not heard the news, nor had the people he usually encounters there. So this announcement was sudden and shocking. Okay. Yeah. So Pick and Save and Big Lots. So Big Lots used to be Pick and Save back when I was really little, like when I was like 9 maybe. Let me see if I can find that, because that would be really great if um if the owner of Big Lots was going to take over the 99-cent store locations. And let me tell you why that's going to be really great. I was going to get into a third issue with the 99-cent store closures. The first would be loss of jobs. The second would be loss of convenient, affordable groceries in lower income neighborhoods. But the third issue that I was going to bring up is commercial real estate. So we had the pandemic, right? And a lot of businesses weren't able to be open during the pandemic. They weren't able to pay their landlords rent during the pandemic, except for you could get help if you were a small business owner. And some of those things with the commercial real estate is still working its way through the system. But if you have empty spaces, that's not great for commercial real estate either, because now those landlords who were renting the retail space to the 99-cent stores are all of a sudden they're out of businesses also. And I am not 100% sure if the 99-cent store were leasing their retail spots or if they owned them themselves. I will also say that at least here in California, um, a lot of the shopping complexes that the 99-cent stores were in are like single level shopping places. And everything is going up, right? Like prices are going up, but also like the real estate is taking physical space in an upward manner. So, like, you're oftentimes getting like retail level shopping on the ground floor, and then you're building like apartments above that or office spaces above the retail places and apartments on top of those offices. And I do think that here in California, that will help a lot of the challenges that we have is moving up. Like, hopefully, if we're making a lot of these mixed use complexes, that would be good. Okay. So, um, Sylvia, I'm so glad that you survived the earthquake. That's good to hear. We have them all the time here in California, like I know you know. Okay, Rocky says, I used to shop the 99-cent store, but once they started raising prices before the pandemic, I just stopped going there and shopping at the Dollar Tree. But now Dollar Tree is raising their prices too. Yeah, and I think that the Dollar Tree is part of Family Dollar, and I think that they're closing a lot of their locations as well. Okay, I'm going to try and share my screen, and I'm going to try. That would be so great if Big Lots was taking over. Big Lots takes over 99-cent store. That would be really great. Okay. Okay. Yes. So, Satobia is absolutely correct. Let me share my screen. I was able to find that pretty easily. Okay, this is my Google search. Oops. Share. Okay, let me make sure I'm actually sharing. Yeah. All right, and we're going to read this article. Okay. Former Big Lots president trying to save Southern California's 99 cents only stores. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. You guys know that means to like the video, please. Oops. Oh, no. No. Okay. Story highlights. Former president of Big Lots and Pick and Save, Mark J. Miller. Also, how old is this guy? But whatever. Okay. Former president of Big Lots and Pick and Save, Mark J. Miller, leads effort to save 143 Southern California 99-cent stores, 99 cents only stores. Miller aims to acquire stores with group of investors, including former 99-cent store executives, and rebrand with emphasis on treasure hunt style. Commerce-based company announces closure of all 371 locations. Okay, that was more than when I did my estimate earlier. Efforts are underway by elected officials to support displaced workers, including Los Angeles City Councilman Tim McOsker's deployment of rapid response team and Los Angeles County Supervisor Janice Hahn's motion for report on county support options. And of course, these employees would be available for unemployment benefits. Okay. Rocky says the companies need to stick with the whole concept of 99 cents or $1. And then he also says any higher and we can go to Walmart and Target. So here's the issue with that, right? So a lot of times, and we're talking like on these shipping containers, right? Like the one that just crashed. We're getting the items from overseas, a lot of times from China, and their prices are going up. The cost to ship those freight containers is rising, so they're not able to sell it to the US for the same price. So the 99-cent stores aren't able to purchase it at the same price that they used to be. And so they have to be able to hand that down to the consumer. And I will say that, okay, when I was 9, I'm going to be 47 this year. So that's literally like 38 years ago. I'm going to go ahead and say that I understand that they're not able to keep that dollar pricing model. But yeah, oftentimes, especially because if you guys were listening earlier, I mentioned that the sizes are not always the same that you're getting from the 99-cent store that you would be getting at like a Target or a Walmart. And Target and Walmart are going to have like more things like clothing and underwear and just more things. They're going to have more brands, more choices for you. So there's that. Okay. So as shoppers flock to area 99-cent stores to pick up one last time before the doors shutter permanently, a former president of Big Lots and the original Pick and Save brand has launched an effort to save the 143 outlets located in Southern California. It's a passion for me to try to do this deal because I think it's such an iconic brand name and has such a great feel for Southern California. Yeah, and I mentioned nostalgia at the end of this too. Miller said he has put together a group of investors, including some former 99-cent store executives, to try and acquire the Southern California stores, close them for about 90 days after the going out of business sales end, and then reopen with an emphasis on the treasure hunt style that the stores popular in the first place, that the stores are popular for in the first place. Anyway, he said the group believes it's crucial to communities of Southern California that 99-cent only stores continue to exist. And they're quoting a lot of Los Angeles magazine quotes. This group of customers is priced out of other chains, Miller said. It stretches their buying power, especially today. That's why this is a passion for me. Miller is currently the president of CEO of Pick and Save Bargains, which operates one store each in Anaheim and Whittier, and was a friend of 99-cent Store's founder, Dave Gold, who died in 2013, and his family. Meanwhile, parking lots at most Los Angeles area 99-cent stores were jammed Friday as liquidation sales began with everything marked 30% off. It's sad because 99 Cent has been providing and helping all of us for years, shopper Elizabeth Gonzalez told Fox 11. Anything that we need, we just come here and shop, and it's cheaper. And it's a good deal. The commerce based company announced Thursday that it was closing all 371 of its locations in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Texas. This was an extremely difficult decision, and it's not the outcome we expected or hoped to achieve. Interim company CEO Mike Simoncic said in a statement, "Unfortunately, the last several years have presented significant and lasting challenges in the retail environment, including the unprecedented impact of COVID-19 pandemic, shifting consumer demand, rising levels of shrink, that's theft, persistent inflationary pressures, and other macroeconomic headwinds, all of which have greatly hindered the company's ability to operate. We deeply appreciate the dedicated employees, customers, partners, and communities who have collectively supported 99 cents only stores for decades. In addition to the effort to reopen some stores, two Southland elected officials are exploring options to provide support for employees who will soon find themselves out of work. Los Angeles Councilman Tim McGuster said he has been in communication with the city's Economic Workforce Development Department and asked them to deploy a rapid response team to provide these workers with a range of resources, including assistance with unemployment insurance benefits and help finding new jobs. We will do our best to mitigate the negative impacts of these layoffs and support the workers, their families, and our communities. Los Angeles County Supervisor Janice Hahn said she would introduce a motion during Tuesday's board meeting asking for a report on ways the county can provide support for displaced workers from the chain. I'm worried about the thousands of 99 cent store workers across LA County who are going to lose their jobs, but LA County is ready to help, Hahn said in a statement Friday. We have a department that can step in during an event like this and help workers with not only short-term assistance to get through this difficult time, but job training and support to help them get a better job. Her motion will request a report within 60 days from the county departments of Economic Opportunity and Consumer and Business Affairs. Sometimes I like to read the comments on these articles, but I don't see any on this one. Anyway, that would be really great if they were able to save those stores. And thank you for letting me know that. Satobia, thank you for sharing that information. Okay. Oh, Family Dollar. I'm so glad you're in here. Family Dollar. All right, so Family Dollar works at Family Dollar currently, but their store is closing as well. Okay, so all 99 cent stores are closing. You being jobless next week, and your Starbucks is costing more money. All right, you got to get away from the Starbucks. Well, you don't gotta. What they actually say is it's more important that we find higher paying jobs. Family Dollar, are you able to share how many employees your store had? And do you know, like, if that's normal? Like, because they're closing 1,000 Family Dollars nationwide. Additionally, Dollar Tree is included in that, right? Like Rocky was mentioning that he's going to go to Dollar Tree now, but Dollar Tree is part of the Family Dollar chain, or do I have those mixed up? There's a lot of different dollar store brands, and I don't want to mix them up. Okay. Family Dollar says now unemployment in the state of California will go up more. Isn't it already at 5%? Maybe it'll be 8% by July. It might be, and those numbers tend to lag, so it may be a little while, but we've had tech layoffs. We've had layoffs in the retail sector, 99 cent store, Family Dollar stores. And now We're also already we've had at least one restaurant close, and they are stating that it is entirely due to that $20 California minimum wage for fast food workers. Rocky says, my sister went yesterday and the cashier was crying. She's an older woman and said, I'm too old to be hired. She's been with the 99-cent store for 10 years. So, oh, that breaks my heart. I don't want anybody to feel hopeless. Like, there are definitely jobs that older people can do. There are places that will hire older individuals, and age discrimination is illegal. So, they're not allowed to not hire you based on your age. They need to hire you based on your capabilities. Okay. Hopefully they help them. Yes. Okay. Linda says, this is really sad. Family Dollar, 99-cent store, and potentially many more to close. These low minimum wage workers will be struggling now, potentially on unemployment for many months. Yeah. Okay. Joel. Joel, I have a question for you too. Oh, hopefully you're still in here. This is a car question. Sorry to totally switch gears, guys. I'm going to take off this for like 1 second so we can focus. Joel, my car. There's like these things above the door. They it looks like it's not like rubber, but it's like on the roof, the track of the roof. And I thought it was just we'll call it rubber. It's not rubber, and it's not like Velcro. It's like I don't know. It's like cloth, but not cloth. Like outdoor cloth. Okay, anyway, it goes along the roof of the car. Not quite like the door jamb. Anyway, and there's like a little groove that this cloth fits in. That cloth is getting like dry, hard, and brittle, and pieces of it have broken off. And I was like, oh, I'll just pull this off. But there's like a wire underneath it. And it seems like, Joel, hopefully you're familiar with this, but ladies' bras have this wire in it. And it seems to have like bra underwire wire in the track underneath the cloth. Like, does that serve a purpose, or can I just pull that off? Does it keep rainwater from like getting in my car? Does it make my car more aerodynamic? Why is there metal underneath this cloth that's not in the door jamb? Like, we may just have to like walk outside and I might have to show you what I'm talking about because I sound like a crazy lady. But do you know what that is? Do I need to like replace that? Also, like my hubcap just fell off. I don't know where. I didn't hear it fall off, which I find surprising. It's been a weird week. Just one hubcap though. Anyway, okay. Back to the store closures. Anyway, Joel, if you know the answer to whatever that is, that would be amazing. Okay. Rocky said Apple released something about layoffs too. Yeah. Okay. Joel says, Joel says, if you're older worker at Family Dollar, maybe years without work because people discriminate anyhow. Yeah, and even though it's illegal to discriminate based on age, that's something that I have even started to worry about. I'm 47. You're not this is why you're not allowed to ask like people's date of birth on a application. That's illegal. You do not have to disclose your date of birth until you have been hired. So, but yeah, definitely that's something that even I have started to worry about. Are people going to think that I'm not fast enough? Are people going to think like, oh, she's old and her mind is starting to go? Hopefully employers don't think that and they value the individual based on their own skills and what they bring to the table, but you never know what someone is truly thinking. So it can be harder. And I'm sure it does happen even though it's not supposed to. Okay, Rocky says, the closing of the 99-cent stores came out of nowhere. You would think they would finish out the year and close in January. Sometimes maybe their lease is up, maybe their owners getting old. Okay, show you. You're kind of confused. The hubcap, however, I can live without. All right, guys, we're gonna go on a journey here. We're gonna go through my living room. Okay, can you guys hear me? Sorry, and the lighting's gonna change too. We're going for a journey through my messy house. Ugh. Okay, because I want to know what this is on my car, and Joel's in here. Sandblast says, vote for your favorite. Oh, look at my Day of the Dead. Some junk I don't need. Anyway, okay. Sorry, my house is really messy right now, but we got to get through the house so that we can look at the car. All right, we're going to the car. We totally just switched gears here. I don't think it's important, but it's also bothering me, and it comes off like during the car wash. Okay, here we go. Okay, whoops, it's not definitely okay. Okay, what is this? Okay, hang on. Oops. Okay, it's like this. It's on. Okay, here's the door, right? And then this, but then there's metal underneath on the roof. What is that?
Coming or what?
Do I need that? Okay, we're going back in. Do I need that? What is that? Were you able to see that? Were you looking? It's just like along the top of the car. Oh, we got the kitty. Oh, he's being real cute. Let's see. Ugh, kitty. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, yeah, he wanted to say hi. Okay, that's the outdoor cat. Okay. Rocky says, a live journey, just like Christmas. Yes. Okay. All right. We're journeying back inside, though. No, the Christmas tree is not still up. It just looks... Also, like, my door came like that. Like, what is that? Okay, but anyway. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, sorry. Joel, what is that thing along the roof of my car? Why does it have a wire? And it, like, came loose during the car wash. Okay. All right. Back into the recording room we go to talk about how this is going to... I want to see what other industries are closing, because... Joel, do you know what that thing was? Okay. I'm going to take a sip of coffee after that walk with my laptop that we weren't planning on. All right, store closures. We're going back to that, because I feel like I've also seen that banks are closing. And it's funny because you guys know that I like banks closing in Southern California. This says Bank of America is coming up in the search. Okay, here we go. All right. We're going to read this article. It's the first one that came up. This is from the U.S. Sun, is who did this article. Let me make sure that I'm sharing. I'm not. Okay. You guys, where did Joel go? Joel, did you see? All right. Did I lose connection maybe? No. All right. So it says we're still going. Okay. So 10 major banks set. No, I don't want that. Nope. Block. What is happening with my internet here? Am I frozen? All right. Don't know. Okay. Money mayhem. 10 major banks set to close in same state as customers need to make arrangements to access their money. And I'm going to kind of say that... Oops, sorry, I'm looking at my car now. I don't know what wire that is, unless it's part of the antenna system. The plastic that's coming off is normal for older cars as plastic degrades. Does the car leak? I don't know. Like, rain doesn't get in. All right. I didn't think it was important. But yeah, I don't know what that metal is underneath. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. You guys like the video. Then we're going to talk about the bank branches closing in Los Angeles or Southern California. All right. Another spate of bank branches is set to shutter in one state as depositors have increasingly adopted more digital model. California will endure 10 branch closures in September after the state already watched 16 branches closed in August. Okay, so this was an August 2023 article. So this is old. So let me actually go back and see if I can find a more recent article. Tools. Anytime. Let's look in like the past month. Okay. Daily Mail. All right. Yeah, let's do this. Do we want finance buzz? Okay. Bank of America is closing 62 branches. It doesn't say just in California, but that's fine. I like to talk about other areas as well. But okay, so Bank of America is closing these 62 branches. Also, Family Dollar, if you're still watching, how many employees were at your store? I want to try and use that. I feel like that's probably going to be similar for like a 99-cent only store. I'm curious how many people are out of jobs, basically. So I'm trying to like figure out that. Okay, now this article was from March 2021 of this year. So find out if your favorite bank branch will close this year. And this is just Bank of America. I think you guys know that I was looking at this because my Wells Fargo branch, for when I'm by my mom, they are closing or they're already closed. Okay. Family Dollar says, I love older cars because they show charm and character. Like my car, I'm proud of my 2006 Honda. Thank goodness it's paid. You'll be unemployed and can't afford a car payment. Yeah. I'm glad your car is going to be paid off also. And I'm so sorry that you're about to go through the unemployment cycle again. But yeah, also people from banks are going through it too. Okay, so as more customers go online to do their banking, brick and mortar branches are shuttering down. And I will say that it's rare when I go into the bank, but when you do go, like you really need them. Um, I usually do all my transactions either on Venmo if it's between friends. I don't usually have like a lot of cash. I don't normally get cash. Even my mom, I taught her how to do a mobile deposit for like any checks that she might get. So even a check, you can just deposit that right from your phone, which is really nice, but you're not even needing to go to an ATM anymore for that. So, and one of my banks that I use and that I recommend and that I link to you guys is Yada Bank, and I still like them. I still use them. They don't even have branches. So they're kind of like perpetuating that um like no bank branches. I did recently, you guys know I made a video with that YouTuber Phidias. So like we became friends and the last time he was here, he stayed with me while we looked at the Apple Vision Pro, and he's made a video about that now. Um But, like, I don't know, some things for the video, and, like, he went back to his country, which is Cyprus, and, like, he was still taking care of some loose ends, and somebody owed him some money, and he was like, "Shelly, will you help me with this?" And it wasn't like it wasn't, like, suspicious or anything like that, but I was like, "Yes," but I had to wire him money, which was, like, surprisingly difficult, and I did need to go in the bank and do that, and I had to go to the bank, like, 3 times, and that's when I learned that the Wells Fargo by my mom's was closing. So I use Wells Fargo also because they have my mortgage and Yada Bank. Wells Fargo doesn't have a good savings rate though. Yada does. Okay, Siegel says, I went inside a 99-cent store and never been such a sad environment. The employees all seem to permeate fear and sadness. It's sad. Yeah, and I know like Family Dollar said that they offered them a little bit of extra money to stay all the way until the store closure. But a lot of times, businesses won't tell their employees in advance when a store is going to close because they want everybody to keep showing up to work. Kenneth, so good to see you in here. Always Um, oh, the Tropicana Hotel and Casino on the Vegas Strip. It sure did. People like live vlogged that though, and that was kind of interesting. That's the first time I think a big hotel chain has closed um in like the whole like TikTok era. So that was kind of interesting, and I'm sure that they'll build something else in its place. Okay, Katie, good morning. In-store jobs lost, yes, but also their truckers and suppliers. Vallejo carried fresh dairy and produce. That is an aspect that I hadn't thought. So now all of these 99-cent store closures, Bank of America, even Bank of America, you guys, they have like armored car services that used to like drop off and pick up deposits for businesses. So armored car services, also armored car services may have been picking up deposits from the 99-cent store. So, okay, so now we've got the immediate loss of in-store jobs. We have the loss of affordable and convenient groceries to like elderly and people in lower economic neighborhoods that really need to have access to affordable groceries and that are close. We also have the potential like commercial real estate, those landlords, the people renting the retail space, they don't have a tenant anymore. And so that can cause havoc. We have other vendors, yeah, like the produce, like the trucks, the suppliers. That's one less business on their route. So now maybe they're going to cut back on the number of truck drivers that they hire. And guys, truck drivers make a lot of money. So if that's something that you like, maybe consider that. So the truck drivers that are delivering, now we've listed like armored car. Like it has a really far reaching effect. It's not just like, oh, this store is closing. To the state of California, that's less tax dollars from businesses. That's less tax dollars coming in from the businesses. It's less tax dollars. Like if we're getting unemployment, chances are you're going to be in a lower tax bracket than you're used to being in. So that's less tax dollars. Um, Even though you're paying some tax on unemployment benefits, it's probably not going to end up being as much as your regular tax rate would be. So it's just loss after loss after loss after loss. Okay. Katie didn't know about the Tropicana closing. Okay. Infinity, good to see you here. Family Dollar, sorry you're losing your job, praying for you and the many others about to be struggling looking for work. Yes. Bargainholic says that they're surprised to see them go. Yeah, I am. I am too. Bargainholic, I gotta ask on that name, have you been to any of the stores and seen if they have deals? Okay. So, Bank of America is also closing. Okay, now I also wanted okay, so Bank of America is closing 62 branches. I'm not going to dig in to if they are just in California or not. But additionally, like this is not just a California issue. It's impacting a lot of different states. Okay, but what I wanted to do is look at this article about this Foster's that closed really suddenly, and they're saying, okay, I'm going to read this Yahoo Finance article because the worker says she'd prefer the old wage. And that's kind of what I've been wondering this whole time. I feel the same way. I would rather have a job and make less than have no job. And of course, like you can go out and find another job. Although I'm saying, of course, but right now, with more places closing, this is also going to make the search for a job be more difficult as well. So there's that to contend with. Okay. Okay. We're going to read this article. This is my mom had texted me and she said, she was like, Shelly, she's like, Foster's closed and they're saying it's because of the minimum wage hike. And I was like, no, there's no way. I was like, I don't even think that there's 60 locations, because remember, there has to be 60 locations nationwide in order for them to have to pay the higher $20 fast food minimum wage here in the state of California. So when I looked, I think there were 63 Fosters, which is so interesting to me because if they close just 4 Fosters, and I wonder how fast, like, how is California gonna regulate this, right? How is California going to know? Are they gonna keep track, like, the second that Foster's only has 59 locations? Are they gonna know? Also, like, since this is like a franchised business, will will the other people who might own a Foster's franchise, will they know right away if the restaurant chain only has 59 locations, which then would mean that they did not have to pay that minimum wage? Also, could these businesses just change their names? I don't know how, like, a franchise works, but, like, maybe the franchisees, like, have they learned enough running the Foster's franchises to have they learned enough to have they learned enough to, like, open their own restaurant and rename it so that they don't have to pay the minimum wage? I'm wondering that. Okay. Kenneth says, the last night of the Tropicana Hotel, they charged $500 a room plus resort fees. That's so crazy. Okay, on the LA Magazine or LA Mag website, there's an article that the owner of the revived Pick and Save may buy back the 99-cent store. Yeah, Kenneth, if you go back earlier, we actually looked a little bit at that, and that would be good. And yeah, that was just for the Southern California locations, though, but I would rather save some of the locations than none of the locations. They did also say that the stores would still close for about 60 to 90 days, and then they would, like, kind of be rebranded. So those people could still be out of jobs. Also, for someone who's been with the store for, like, 10 years, I'm gonna remove that because I feel like it's distracting for right now. There was an older woman who said that she had been with them for 10 years and was concerned about finding a new job. In 10 years, you have to think, "Okay, they've probably had some raises, maybe their management." But if they let go of everybody, are they gonna rehire all those same people? Because I will say that a lot of times they're still looking to make ends meet, right? So that might mean reopening under a different name, but with less employees. So everyone that's out of a job, even if they save those Southern California locations, might not get rehired, and they might not get rehired at the rate that they were making. So that's all things that we have to consider also. Okay. Infinity's asking about the bank branches. So just branches are closing. Your Bank of America. If the bank goes under entirely, what happens to people's money in their account? Lose it all. Makes me want to go old school and get a massive vault. Okay, that's a whole lot, and we're only got like 12 minutes left in today's live. But no, that's why it's FDIC insured of up to $100,000. I think it's up to $100,000. It might be more. So the banks are federally insured. The banks are not going to fail. Our government would not let the banks fail. It's just branches that are closing because people are doing more and more business online. And that makes sense to me. Yada Bank, which is a big one that I use, they don't even have branches because think about it, like if you guys wanted to PayPal me money, you could do that right now. Like I've got like links to that. Like you don't need to even know my Venmo. We don't need to meet in person. You don't need to go to the bank and get me cash. Like none of that needs to happen. So they're needing less tellers, they're needing less in-person people. Um, but this is also concerning to me because regardless of age or how long you've been with a company, now the fast food places are paying more. So the quality, the caliber of people is maybe the pool that the employers have to choose from may be a little bit overqualified for a fast food job. It may not just be entry level people who are applying for these jobs. It may be people who have management experience. It may be people who come from other retail sectors. So now, since that pays $20 an hour for fast food minimum wage here in California, that might mean that it's harder to get a job in fast food. We've got a lot of retail locations closing, which means like, maybe a month ago I would have thought Family Dollar could just go work at a 99-cent store because they're similar industries. But now the 99-cent stores are closing as well. So where does everybody with the retail experience go? And guys, I'm going to say this is not sponsored, but please check out something like Skillshare or Upwork, um or like a Google certificate. Maybe look at shifting industries, right? Okay. But yes, just branches of the banks are closing. Okay, Kenneth says, "I'm never against fast food workers or anyone else making a living wage. Minimum wage needs a living wage." I agree, but not necessarily if it means that they're just going to totally close the stores. Okay, Bargainholic says, "I'm sad to see them go. You shopped at their first store in Westchester, California and watched them grow, getting better things from t-shirts to produce and just better quality stuff." Yeah, I remember too when the 99-cent store did not have groceries. They had like I feel like they had cookies maybe and some candy, but not like fresh produce and milk and cheese. Hi, Joy and Joey. You remember lottery tickets and Niagara water. Yeah, I remember Niagara water also. It's a shame the original owners retired and their kids didn't continue. Yeah. I'm sure that the Pick and Save guy would rehire all of the 99-cent store employees and can get EDD unemployment in the meantime. They can get unemployment benefits, but remember that doesn't replace 100% of the wages that you were earning. So there may be a couple months where those employees are hurting pretty bad, and there's not a guarantee that they would rehire them. Um, because if they reopen, they're going to be looking at the bottom line, right? So they're going to be looking at things like how much do the utilities cost? They're going to be looking at if our cost of goods is rising and customers only want to pay a dollar for the product. How do we keep our prices low to get the customers in? A lot of times businesses will look at cutting their employee hours, or maybe the store won't be open as long, like 99-cent store. And I'm noticing this with like Target and things like that. Pre-pandemic, they used to be open till like 11 or midnight on the weekends or 24 hours. That is getting more and more rare that businesses have those late night hours. So even if they might not bring them all back, and even if they did, it might not be for the same amount of hours and it might not be at the same wage that they were making before. Claimer is still around to help people get through EDD. It sure is, and I still have the link down below in my channel. Okay. Siegel says a friend of mine works at a gas station. He told me that he notices a lot more people buying lottery tickets. It's sad that people hope to win the lotto to get out of the hardship that many face. Yes, it is. It is. It also could be that like maybe there's been a surge because there's been a couple lotteries over $1 billion, and I think that makes people play that don't normally play. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. If you're enjoying this live, please just take a moment and like the video. It would really mean a lot to me. Could this be a business tactic, close and reopen? Perhaps, so that they could do things like just lay off people and then rehire. But it sounds like they're totally letting it go. I mean, it's always a business tactic. Like maybe they're hoping to sell the name. I don't know what they're hoping to get out of it. But um yeah. Okay, someone won the 1.3 billion Powerball lottery in Oregon. Okay. The money network that EDD uses now also has no branches. Yeah, a lot of these places just don't have branches. Okay. Irene says anything to give the elderly heart palpitations. Definitely not the goal, but yeah, definitely a symptom. Not many Family Dollars in Southern California, but plenty of Dollar Tree. John Olvera has a video showing that dollar store employees are treated terribly by corporate. Malls seem to close at 8 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. Yeah, definitely. Um, one of the movie theaters I used to work at used to be inside of a mall, and the mall definitely closed at 9 p.m. Okay. Hi, Debbie. All right, Debbie. The little green guy's happy to see you. Let's real quick, you guys. I work at a movie theater. Wicked Little Letters is doing really well, as is a movie called Monkey Man. But what? Dune 2 is still really like hanging on to the top spot. So yeah. Okay, my mom says dollar items are now more than a dollar wholesale. So my mom, she used to sell things at the swap meet, and she used to like go and she would buy things wholesale. She had her wholesaler's license so that she could go sell it. She could buy at wholesale prices, and then resell the items. For a long time, my mom could get me flashlights cheaper than the 99-cent store could get me flashlights. So I bought all my flashlights from my mom, who was buying them wholesale. But yeah, the prices have gone up. Like the freight to ship things from China overseas, that's going up, which is making the prices to the people buying those things going up. All right. Kenneth says, Capital and Maine website has an article from economist Michael Reich showing that California fast food wages can rise without job losses and high prices. Kenneth, are you able, I'm going to write that down. I was like, can you screenshot that and send that to me? But I will write that down. Capital and Maine, Michael R-E-I, right. Okay, we're going to look at that. Okay. Siegel says, I feel older people should win the lottery and not some 20-year-old. What do you think? That would be nice. Debbie's saying hi. Yep, always the green man. Okay, Bargainholic says Family Dollars tended to be in areas where Walmart wasn't. Yeah. Kenneth says, I want to see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, a horror movie where Winnie the Pooh goes on a killing spree. All right, Joshua, welcome to the chat. Man, I should go out on a date. Where do you live? Joy and Joey says, have they said which stores are closing? You need to Google to see if any are closing by us. All of the 99-cent stores are closing. All of the 99-cent stores are closing. All of them. Okay, Siegel says Uber needs to go out of business. They pay drivers less than as the cost of living goes up. Yeah, and something that I was wondering last week, a lot of people bought cars under like an Uber driving program, and I'm wondering if they're like locked in to still do it. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the fast food minimum wage. Being blamed for this Foster's Freeze store closure, and the worker says that she'd prefer the old wage, which is what I've been wondering. I've been wanting to hear from the workers. And yeah, Kenneth, I'm with you. I want everyone to have a living wage. But how do we do that without also closing businesses? Okay. California's decision to increase the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 an hour is primarily aimed at improving the standard of living for these workers in a state that's notoriously expensive. However, there's concern that this new law, which went into effect on April 1st, may have a more complicated impact on the local economy. Guys, I've been screaming this from the rooftops for months now. A Foster's Freeze outlet in Lemoore shut down on Monday, the same day the new minimum wage kicked in, and its workers are now out of a job. Some employees initially thought it was an April Fool's joke. We had gotten a text in the group chat that we were shutting down, and I completely thought it was a joke, former employee Jason Boato told the news. Unfortunately, it was not a joke. In a text to KMPH, Lauren Wright, the owner of the Foster's Freeze, wrote, last thing I ever wanted was to close down. By Friday night, I knew I was most likely not going to be able to stay open, but I didn't want to ruin their Easter Sunday. Which to me, guys, this is like a weird statement because maybe they would have wanted to be home with their um, with their family on Easter. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Small businesses can't survive. According to Wright, the substantial rise in minimum wage has made it challenging for small businesses to stay afloat. And guys, this doesn't necessarily apply to a small business. However, so one thing that I saw that was not understood on like another thread is that this fast food minimum wage, it has to be paid. So I'm not a franchise owner, but I could be a franchisee of Foster's or McDonald's, or I don't know who else does franchising, but a lot of these businesses, maybe I'm a franchisee of those chains, but I don't own personally 60 locations. Maybe I own one, maybe I own four, but I don't own 60. But if I am operating under a name of a national chain that has more than 60 stores, then I have to pay that higher minimum wage. So that's why it's saying small business, but at the same time, it's talking about more than 60 locations. So individual owners or franchisees, I guess they're not owners. I don't really know the difference between a franchisee and an owner, but I do know that a franchisee operator, somebody who operates under the name of McDonald's, or somebody who operates under the name of Foster's, somebody who operates under the name of a larger company who has more than 60 locations nationwide, they have to pay it. Okay, so small businesses can't survive. According to Wright, the substantial rise in minimum wage has made it challenging for small businesses to stay afloat. Small businesses can't survive a 120% plus minimum wage increase over the last 10 years. We are more broke than we were 10 years ago. It's clear raising minimum wage isn't helping. California has seen a consistent and significant increase in its minimum wage over the past decade. In 2014, the state's minimum wage was $9 an hour. Today, it's at $16 an hour, rising to $20 an hour for fast food workers. Monica Navarro, former assistant general manager of that Foster's Freeze location, told Fox Business that she and her former colleagues would prefer the old wage over being unemployed. From people that I spoke to, my employees, we would rather have stayed at the wage that we had before, just because now we don't have a job. She also observed the impacts of the new minimum wage on those fortunate enough to keep their jobs, stating, "Those who are still working in the areas around us that went up to $20 an hour, they got their hours severely cut, and it's a lot less people working on shifts. So their jobs got a lot more difficult," which is also something that I thought might happen. Owners explore other options, majority in U.S. support hikes. Navarro noted that the closure of the Foster's Freeze location is not an isolated incident, cautioning, "This is not the first business that's closing. There's already a few local businesses for me that are closing. So I feel like this is just the beginning. Critics have long pointed out the unintended consequences of a minimum wage hike. These fears are not unfounded." The Wall Street Journal looked at state records and found that California restaurants had outlined plans to cut hundreds of jobs in the months leading up to April 1st wages. Oh yeah, we forgot about like the Pizza Hut article that we shared a long time ago. However, the report adds that many restaurant operators are looking for other ways to cover the cost, like reducing hours, closing during slower parts of the day, or serving menu items that take less time to make. Some are also choosing automation, which is something Dirty Jobs host Mike Rowe recently warned about. Menu prices have risen at several locations in the Los Angeles area, per the New York Post. Scott Riddick, who owns 18 McDonald's locations in the state, told CNN he has raised prices about 5 to 7% in the last 3 months to anticipate the higher wages. Instead of cutting any worker hours, he also plans to grow his delivery operation and make decisions about large capital expenses like postponing updating a dining room or putting off buying new grills or rooftop HVACs. HVACs is air conditioning, and let me just tell you, please provide like good ventilation to your employees, especially during the summer. Don't cut out on that HVAC. Now, also don't, if the grill is not working or it's dangerous, replace it. But like, I'm sorry, like some of these cosmetic upgrades, like don't redo your booths. Like honestly, like put some duct tape on that. I would like that more than I want to pay like a higher price. Okay. Nationwide, not all small business owners are against the trend. In fact, the majority, 61%, surveyed earlier this year, said they support raising the minimum wage in their state, even though only 1 in 5 believe that it will help their business. Let's just look at some of the comments because I think the comments really kind of reflect better how people are feeling about this. Okay. Bob says 15 to 30% of revenues are budgeted for employee wages cost. Most companies are not going to raise their budget when implemented with cost. They're going to make changes that maintain their budgets. That's because they don't have the same luxury of creating more money to cover higher cost like the government does. Okay, so Jay says, so let's think this through. You raise the fast food minimum wage to $20 an hour. That means to make ends meet. The business owners can lay off workers, cut hours, raise food prices, delay, cut capital improvements, try to automate, or if you can't make it, close down. It seems to me the workers may get paid more. The fast food experience will be more expensive and less service friendly, so fewer people will want to eat fast food. And over the long term, fast food franchises will close. So to me, the policy seems a bit short-sighted unless your long-term goal is to artificially reduce the presence of fast food in the state. Okay. Nork Pop says, along with the $20 an hour came higher Social Security and Medicare tax, workers' comp, disability and unemployment tax that is all paid by the company and small business. Yep, there's the aspect that I hadn't thought about it. Every time government meddles in the private sector, they make things worse. Ronald Reagan said it perfectly. The most frightening thing you can even hear, we're from the government and we're here to help. Okay, big guy says, first government puts businesses through losses because of closures and then slaps them with huge wage increases on top of all the other costs government is driving up. Your government at work against you, not for you. They have done the same thing to rents. All the regulations and tenant rights are big part of high rent. The incentive today is to be a freeloader because you live pretty good and can party all day long on government taxpayer borrowed time. All right. Steven says, why not just raise the minimum wage to $50 an hour? If 20 won't hurt anyone, then why would 50? I love it. I hope businesses keep closing and people go on welfare. They voted for these politicians. Let them live with their decisions. It's called being an adult. Which, like, hopefully they didn't say that. Okay, David, have you realized okay, Foster's had 62 locations. I think I read 63. But anyway, before the new wage went into effect, they could close 3 of them to get under the 60 store threshold and keep the old wage. The 3 closed stores could be reopened under a new name and revamped menu and be profitable. Why should they have to do that? The necessity for that minimum wage is a direct result of politicians' incompetences, not the business. All right. Let's see what you guys have to say about some of that. Where were we? Okay, there's a lot of comments. I'm going to probably do the comments and then we'll probably head out today. Okay. Joshua is in Inglewood, California. That's not too far. How old are you, Joshua? All right. Kenneth says, another Capital and Main article says the new minimum wage won't wreck the economy or the fast food industry. It probably won't. Okay. All the 99-cent stores are closing. Joel says, as a former Uber driver, I agree. Uber needs to disappear. Not an ethical company at all. I agree. All right. Yeah, Joy and Joey. All the 99-cent stores are closing. I'm gonna should I put up that headline again? Okay. Kenneth says these articles links that I sent from Capital and Main show the minimum wage increases will benefit workers and also not hurt businesses. I hope that's true. Okay, Joel says my Starbucks coffee was 35 cents more in March. Oh, more. Sorry, let me read that correctly. My Starbucks coffee was 35 cents more than in March. I noticed fast food places did increase the prices ever so slightly. Yeah, it's very sad about the 99-cent stores. Okay. The delivery hubs tend to rip off stores, customers, and drivers. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Kenneth says double at In-N-Out is 25 cents more. So if you get one a week, it's only $12 more for the year. Big deal. That's true if it stays at only 25 cents more. And guys, I have screenshotted something. I'll probably make a little short about this later today. We'll see. I've been seeing like, oh, the Big Mac meals are $18. Please don't pay $18 for your Big Mac meal. Look at this. If you get the McDonald's app, still only $6.50. And this said that the deal is it's good through at least 4/28 of 2024. And you can use this deal once a day. The lighting get weird in here? Why do I look orange? What's going on? Okay. Don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay. Uh-oh. I lost you guys. What literally just happened? Okay. Bargainholic says, I grew up near the courthouse. My dad went to Jefferson School. My cousins on Englewood and Century. Oh, we all live near by each other pretty much. Okay. Kenneth says, I think the rent is too high. So vote yes in November for the Justice for Renters Act to expand rent control. I got to read more about that. Okay. Pivot Shot says, hi, Shelly. I went to a 99-cent store last night on my way home from work, and most of the shelves were empty, and everything left was priced at 99 cents. So no deal, basically. Okay. You need to make $60 an hour to rent here. I'm living in someone's paid-off house. I'm glad you found that deal, though. Okay. Kenneth says, the corporate landlords will spend millions to lie about justice for renters, but will get rent control for more people if passed to help working class and middle class. Let me write that down too. Justice for renters. We'll look into some of this stuff. Justice for renters. Okay. You live on their property, not the house. That's cool. I love that. Okay. Kenneth says if workers make higher minimum wage, they will be stable and less likely to quit and lead costly employee turnover. Also true. My mom says billionaires aren't willing to give up anything. It's not just wages going up, it's everything. And it really is costly to have a storefront. Yes. Okay. A problem with 99-cent store only locations closing in some poor neighborhoods could end up becoming food deserts. Yeah. And guys, for anybody who doesn't know what a food desert means, it means that it's like now too far to drive to get to something that would potentially sell like healthy, fresh foods. Like I've been eating a lot of blueberries yesterday. I've been reading that they're good for like your cognitive ability and all this stuff. But you might not be able to get blueberries because the only thing that sells food within like a 30-mile radius might be like a gas station, and they're not going to have blueberries. You'll be lucky if they have a banana. And so you just end up eating like whatever they potentially sell at like just a gas station or McDonald's because there's not actually a grocery store that's closer to you. Those comments on this website are super white. They often are. Yeah. Definitely like try and don't even just take my word for things. I'm sure that there's somebody who is happy about this $20 minimum fast food wage. I'm sure that there's somebody that's benefiting from it out there that thinks it's a good thing, that has personal experience with it being a good thing. So these are just my opinions. And usually if you research something enough, you're going to find pros and cons for it. Bargainholic says, I've been in some 99-cent stores only and Family Dollar stores in food deserts and some really nice ones. Okay. Kenneth says, when Gina Viola ran for mayor in 2022, she pushed for $49 an hour in minimum wage and she came in 4th place. I would love to make that, but like, I still don't think they would just raise everything else. Okay. I'm going to kind of scan some of the comments. Yeah, okay. I will read this one last and then we might head out for today. Okay, Kenneth says, a lot of people in food deserts are too poor to have a car and have to take unreliable public transportation. That too. Yeah. Yeah. So there's not anything necessarily in walking distance. There's not necessarily anything in driving distance. And they may not have like transportation, cars, things like that if you're really struggling financially. All right, guys, I'm sorry if some of you were learning about the 99-cent store closures today during this live. I hope you're all getting through it. I'm sorry to see so many businesses closing right now. We do go live every Sunday morning at 11. So if you have finance, budget topics that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. If you are going to still eat at McDonald's, please don't pay like these crazy inflated prices. Download their app. It's still $6.50 for a big Mac meal. Kenneth is saying 99-cent store only. Rest in peace. I hope that the Big Lots Pick and Save founder is able to save some of the 99-cent store locations. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below after the video what you want to talk about on next week's live. Thanks so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.